ข้อที่1นะครับ Morphemic components in words. Morphology is the study of words and their parts. Morphemes like prefix, suffix, and base words are defined as the smallest meaningful units of meaning. Morphemes are important for phonics in both reading and spelling as well in vocabulary and comprehension. Example: fall เป็น base ตามด้วย s ที่เป็น suffix, crash ที่เป็น base ตามด้วย ed ที่เป็น suffix, remain ที่เป็น base ตามด้วย s ที่เป็น suffix, re prefix ตามด้วย entry ที่เป็น base, populate base ตามด้วย ed ที่เป็น suffix. ข้อ2นะครับ free morphemes and bound morphemes. Morpheme can either single words free morpheme or parts of words bound morpheme. A free morpheme can stand alone as its own word. A bound morpheme only occurs as a part of word. Free morpheme plus affix. Example of free morphemes: long, rocket, space, area, state, design, palace, time, command, islands, risk, ground, and etc. An example of bound morphemes: location, probabilities, extremely, uncontrolled, responsibilities, previously. ข้อ3นะครับ zero morphemes, also known as no morphemes, are a type of morpheme that has no visible change usually, but change the meaning in some way. For example, sheep is the plural and singular form. This words require a determiner in front to make sure the meaning is clear. For instance, saying a sheep versus some sheep. ข้อที่4นะครับ allomorph. An allomorph is a variant of morphemes that allow for different pronunciation and spelling without changing the base meaning of the word. The best examples are the transition of a to an when paired with words starting with vowels and the suffix s transitioning to es in words like churches and bushes.
Hello teacher, I'm Don, Mr. Pongthorn Marod from section 2. Let's continue from Mr. Kittikun. Topic 5, part of speech. It means a category to which a word is assigned in accordance with its syntactic functions. In English, the main parts of speech are noun, pronoun, adjective, determiner, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. Example: noun, rocket, earth, ocean, space station. Pronoun is. Adjective: international, little, most, elliptical. Determiner and. Verb: fall, crash, burn, set, rise, river. Adverb: likely, partly, historically, especially. And preposition is to, for, on, off, in. And last one, conjunction is and. Sixth, phrase structure. Phrase structure rules are a type of real-life rule used to describe given language syntax and are closely associated with the early stage of transformation. An example of noun phrase: the uncontrolled return of rocket call state. The is determiner, uncontrolled is adjective. Return is verb of its preposition, and rocket's call state is noun. And next, 7. Idioms. An idiom is a widely used saying or expression that contains a figurative meaning that is different from the phrase literal meaning. For example, if you say you are feeling underneath the water, you don't literally mean that you are standing underneath the rain. Under the weather is an idiom that is universally understood to mean sick or ill. And the last topic, 8. Summary of the article. Chinese rocket debris had crashed to Earth over the Indian and Pacific Oceans. China's space agency said most remains of the Long March 5 burnt in the atmosphere, identifying the Sulci in the Pacific as the re-entry location. Earlier, space experts had said the probability of the rocket landing in a populated area was extremely low. The uncontrolled return of rocket call state has raised questions about responsibility for space junk. There have previously been calls by NASA for the Chinese Space Agency to design rockets to disintegrate into smaller pieces upon re-entry, as is the international norm. The Chinese government said on Wednesday that the rocket's re-entry would pose little risk to anyone on the ground because it would most likely land in the sea. However, there was the possibility for pieces of the rocket to come down over a populated area as they did in May 2020 when property in Ivory Coast were damaged. Designing objects to disintegrate upon atmospheric re-entry is becoming a priority for satellite operators. It done partly by using materials which have low melting point temperatures, such as aluminum. In the case of rockets, this can be expensive, and as historically the material used for housing fuels, such as titanium, require very high temperature to burn up. The sheer size of such object is also an issue, especially in the case of the long March 5 weighing over 25 tons. Thank you for listening.